So this is a review of the Siemens IQ700. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to return this machine because of some little bugs in the software, which I'll come to. It was bought September 2024. Nice big drum, 10 kilogram drum. It's actually going to be replaced by an IQ500, which is the same capacity 10 kilogram drum. It won't have the jet, it will have a light, internal light, and it won't have IDOS, and it's going to have a much simpler dashboard, and I think that will suit us better actually. For starters, there's a lot to like about this machine. It's much quieter than the Miele I previously had. It washes well, it rinses well. Whilst it's careful with spinning, it does do its attempts much better than the Miele. On the whole, the machine, it's solid. The only thing that makes a strange noise is the IDOS, actually, but that's not really a deal breaker. So actually, Siemens machines, quite pleased with it. I can't say there's a huge amount of action with the jet. There's a little bit of fast turns and the jet comes on occasionally. But I can't say I would pay a fortune to have the jet, to be honest. I sometimes wonder whether these things are a bit of a gimmick, really. The problem I've got with this machine, I'll explain the main reason why it's going back. When I put it on the Powerspeed 59, at the end of the wash, the machine would not stop spinning. It held on 1 minute and just continued to spin. And I'm talking for a very long time. There was something wrong. I had to manually stop the machine. Now, I was around at the time, but if I hadn't been around, that could have been disastrous for all sorts of reasons. So that was a real concern, especially in a brand new machine. The other problem with it is that we click options. These are your options, and but some options are missing that are in the app. And the app has things like, for example, easy iron or ironless, whatever they call it. And actually we do use that for some loads. And I can only set that through the app. But the app is a little bit of a nightmare because when you go, it takes quite a while to connect, for starters, but in the end you get there. But what you can do with the app is you can select favorites and you can build up your own programs with all your favorite selections and bits and pieces. And I have a lot of things selected. I like things like Water Plus. I probably will use Powerspeed a lot of the time. I find that sort of length of programs about right for me, an hour and 40. So I will set all this up in a favourite, and I'll go back to that favourite and it's undone everything and it's changed it. And I'll give you an example. I've set up a white swash in favourites on the app, and that's a 90-degree wash with various bits and pieces. I go back to it and it's removed it all and it's set it to a 40-degree wash. And that is a glitch in the app, and it's just frustrating because then you have to go into the app and reselect everything. Now you're thinking, well, why don't you just select it on the front here? Well, that's true, but there are some things like with shirts that I want to have less ironing on. So it's frustrating when I go in and find it's removed less ironing and adjusted the spin speed. So, I'm paying a lot of money for a machine that I should be able to use a reliable app with. And to be honest, using an app is a faff. The IQ500 has less ironing actually added as a button on the front. It's all done in the dashboard, nice and easy. I personally don't see much benefit in using an app. I think they're a bit gimmicky. It certainly wouldn't work for my partner. And I mean, it's quite, you'll get notifications when the machine's finished. But, when you start the machine, you have to come and stand next to it and press remote start here before you can actually start the program anyway in the app. So it sort of defeats the object. I just think I don't see the point. I'd have to make sure I had my phone on me. I don't always do. It can be charging. And I just think, no, it was just a bit too, it's a bit too clever for its own good on that sense. That being said, I really do like the machine, and I will miss certain features, like for example, it's got all the temperatures. So you get a real range of temperatures. Let's see what it does with spin. They're just in the 200s. I think you get a little less options, fewer options in the IQ500, but nothing that would bother me. There's also, again, the programs on here. I'd quite like the shirts program on here. My partner would use that, for example. He does iron shirts, and of course it's always handy to have that. So there are other things you can use, but so overall, I mean, it is a nice machine. I wouldn't stop someone from buying it, but it's just, if you can be bothered to get the phone out each time, if you want to select something a bit different, fair enough. Otherwise, I think I'd be inclined to go for a simpler machine. You're paying a lot of money for something that's actually more of a faff. So this is going back. It's going to be replaced by something more simple.